for nothing to consider. They forget my name. They call me Hell. They call me Stacy. They call me Her. They call me Jane. That's not my name. That's not my name.
Before we begin, just wanted to let everyone know Happy Easter. Also, you'll notice that my videos are going to be disjointed a bit because I've changed my hair rather drastically, and I still have a few videos in the weeks coming up where my hair is going to be my old hair and not my new hair. I was preparing as many videos as I could because I was expecting that I would be moving in April, and I would need time to deal with that, and so I didn't want to be editing videos while I was relocating, so I could just upload them instead of having to worry about whatever. Of course, due to the fact that I did not get the job that I was going for, I'm going to have to cast my net outside of what I was originally planning to, and that's going to cause problems. But as far as this name change topic goes, I'm also waiting to see if I move or don't move. The process here is difficult, which I will discuss in the video, but it's also a matter of what if I never get to Ohio, you know? This has been an incredibly difficult few weeks, and hopefully by the time the new videos come along with this hair, or further progressive of hair, I will be in a better place, and the videos will be, well, we'll see. But anyway, with that, moving on to week 4. So hi, this is Kai for It's Man's World, week 4, Sunday Guy. Let's talk about name changing. Okay, so in Maryland, where I live right now, they've recently changed some of the laws. The things that have changed are some of the paperwork is different. Everything costs more money, and you are only allowed to pay with cash or check. No credit cards, and I believe no money orders. This is BS. Okay, so I went online to the Maryland government website, and I found forms, which were originally this many. It's a lot. There's a lot of forms, and they have little boxes where you just put in why you're transitioning and all this other shit. And I filled it out, and I went in with a credit card, assuming I could pay with a credit card because it's the government, they can take credit cards. And I had to pay for parking, and I walked in, and security was ridiculous. So they had one of those like airport security boxes that you have to walk through, and they have to make sure that you're not carrying anything explosive. And then after that, they wand you. So it's very inhuman. I feel like cattle when I walk in there. And the parking wasn't cheap either. So I paid for my parking, I walked over, go into the building, get scanned like a piece of meat, hand over my 20 things, including my birth certificate and blah blah blah. The woman read my reason for why I'm changing my name, gave me a somewhat bored but judgmental look, and then told me that the paperwork I had filed was incorrect, and gave me another packet and told me to fill that out. And there's a whole bunch of documentation that shows you what you're supposed to be doing. And the paperwork I had given her was identical, but one paper was slightly different, and she made me change what I was filling out. So that was BS. And then she sent me out the door, and I didn't have cash because I don't carry cash anywhere because I live on credit, and so I couldn't get it done. But it was just really awkward because I couldn't even talk to her. There was no one in line behind me, but she just didn't let me ask her any questions, and then I got kicked out of the building. So I'm not doing it in Maryland. I'm probably going to do it in Ohio and look at Sydney and Caleb's videos and figure out what to do there, because this is crap. It's something like $160 or something, and she told me, one of the forms she gave me made it imply that I had to talk to the people about, like the newspaper agencies, in order to get my name changed. And I called them, and they said, oh no, you don't have to do that, the clerk will do that. So I left feeling confused and bewildered and taken advantage of, or I don't know. It was awful. So I'm going to do it in Ohio. And I think Ohio is cheaper, and they take credit cards, and they probably have parking because it's just not downtown somewhere. Anyway, so that was really awful. So since it's only been 3.5 minutes, let's instead talk about why I picked the name I picked. My birth name, the one that's on my birth certificate, is super girly. I mean, it's French and super girly. I've never liked it. I haven't liked it since I was like 12 years old. When I was in high school, I added an extra letter to my name, because in the French way you don't have an extra letter, and in the American way you do. So I added an extra letter, and then I was like, why am I writing extra? I don't like my name. Why would I write even more? But I wanted to fit in, so that was awesome. So from 12 years old, I've been trying to pick a name, and they were originally girls' names. So I changed it to a name that has a K in it. That's sign language for K, American Sign Language. Sorry, I'm a nerd. And so I changed that, and I went by that name for like 10 years. Since I came out as a lesbian, pretty much, that's what I was going with. Because my name was Big Nuts, and there's a whole story about that. But I went by girl named Big Nuts for like 10 years. Because I'm masculine, I just didn't know. So the name I wanted, the name I was using simultaneously as I got my female name, my nickname as a male persona on the internet was Ozzy. O-S-S-Y. Not Ozzy or Aussie. Ozzy. And a lot of my friends who know me as a man kind of know that name. So I was thinking of, can I get a name that diminuates to that? And the only names that I found that did that were Carlos and Oscar. And so I considered Oscar for like 10 minutes, because I have this giant book. I don't know where it is. But it's like 10,000 different names and what they mean and what cultures there are and how many variations there are. And when I read the definition of Oscar, it just really suited my personality. Like, I read it and I was like, wow, this is me. So I went with Oscar for like a week, and my mother was like, oh yeah, Oscar's nice. And then she changed her mind, because she's like this. And she said, I hate the name Oscar because all the Oscars that I know of, I don't like. Oscar the Grouch, Oscar de la Renta. Alright, so not Oscar. So when I was looking for things, I found this name, Kairos, which I'm going to put right here. And it's the Greek word for non-chronological time. Chronos is time that is segmented and can be calculated mathematically. It's been a minute, it's been a second, it's been a day, it's been a week, so on. Kairos is a little bit different in that it's time that is emotional in weight or in value, such as, man, I feel like I've known you forever. Or, time just flew because I was having fun. So even though it was 3 hours, it went by in an instant. So it's the association of feeling or emotional value in a way of delineating time, as opposed to time that is just, 1 hour, 6 minutes, 25 seconds. And that's how I operate, because people always tell me, hey, you want to hang out? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I'll talk to you in 3 minutes. And then I get really into something, and then 6 hours pass. And I'm like, oh, shit. Sorry, guys. So I just like Kairos a lot. It's sort of how my mind works and how I relate to time. And when people ask me, hey, when'd you get your car? I'm like, well, I think it was around my birthday. I remember we made a trip to Philadelphia at that time. I got my tattoo really close to it. Again, so these are all emotional significance. Like, I remember taking the trip and looking out the window, and so that's a memory. So I'm relating it to a memory as opposed to a period of time. But it's kind of like the original definition. The original way of saying it is here, okay? The way I was going to spell it is down here. And it's not exactly like easy to spell. Like, easy for people to say. I've had a lot of weird ways of people saying it, and they're not going to spell it right ever. So I might put that on my driver's license, or I might just go with Kai, because my friends were like, why would you get a name just so that it diminuates to something? Just make your name the diminutive. I'm like, I don't really like that as a name, and nobody knows how to say it. Everyone says Aussie, Aussie, and then they say put Z's in there. I'm like, Kai. Kai is 2 letters. You can't mess it up. Or so I thought. I was wrong. I went to a restaurant the other day and I put Kai as my name. They called me KY. So now I'm like, should I change my middle or last name to Jelly? KY Jelly. Party of 4 for KY Jelly. But I didn't. My middle name is going to be my father's name, surprisingly. Because my father and I never got along. But I've always liked his name. And I was looking, I originally wanted to have, my family does first name, middle name, last name, and then all of our surnames. It's a Spanish thing. So I was thinking, I want to have 2 names and my last name. But all our names are like Spanish or French, because my dad likes them. But I wanted a Spanish name, and I couldn't find a Spanish name that I liked enough for my first name. But I like Kai a lot. Hi, I know I'm wearing a different outfit. It's a different day. It's a different time of day. My hair looks different. Somehow the video cut off, and I don't know why. And I don't know where the second part is. I may have been just crazy and kept talking without recording, because I would do that. But I'm going to tell you what I was going to tell you then. Even though this is 2 weeks later. I was looking at sites that were like baby names that were common from censuses from the year that I was born. And I couldn't really find any that was like, I want you, you're amazing! So, you know, it's like the usual thing. Enrique, Alejandro, which is fine, but everybody and their mom is called Alejandro. Well, everybody and their dad, I guess. And I was just a little bit like, oh God, I don't like them. So I was looking at this amazing website called 20,000names.com. It's 20,000-names. And I love that site because you can find names from every culture, different languages, with definitions in alphabetical order. Winning. So I was looking through there, and I've used that site many, many times for other things. Mysterious. And I found my father's name, which defines as there will be another son. And I thought that was really clever. I mean, I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, so me being the middle child, sort of any gender would be fine. But I think it's amazing that that's my father's name means there will be another son. He was the last of all of his siblings. He was the youngest. He was the baby. And he had lots of brothers. So, I don't know. I just thought it was sort of like, there will be another son. It will be me! This one! And so I really, really like it. And it sounds really good with Kai and my last name. Even though I'm thinking of changing my last name because of the whole crap that's happening here. I was like, well, maybe I'll use my grandmother's last name, which I really like. And I love my grandmother. And she's dead now, so maybe I'll use that instead. And I always wish my uncle and my aunt were my parents because they're so nice and they love me, even though I haven't told them I'm trans. The language barrier might be an issue. I don't know. Anyway, so I picked my middle name because it has a really awesome meaning, and I picked my first name because it has a really awesome meaning. And I like both of them, and it's a way of maybe reconnecting with my father because he's the one I kind of feel the most close, like, not close, the most similar to. Anyway, that's week 4. Week 5 is going to be super awesome topic, sex, TMI, crazy TMI, and really long. I talked to Chris and Nikki, and they said if I want to make it an hour long, I can. So be forewarned, TMI time with Kai, forever, in a week, full of sex, and way too much private information. Because shame, what's that? I don't even know. I've never heard of it. I've also never heard of, what's the other one? I can't remember because I never use it. Humility. I don't have that either. It's crazy. Humility, shame, pfft, useless. Useless words. They're so useless. Anyway, catch you guys in a week. Sorry for the weird wardrobe change. It's me. Expect the unexpected, right? That's why my videos are awesome and everybody loves them. See you guys soon.